Hello everybody. Today we shall discuss about measurement of power in three-phase circuits. Measurement of power in three-phase circuits. There are three methods available for the measurement of power in three-phase circuits or three-phase power measurement. We have three methods, right? First one is 3 wattmeter method. 3 wattmeter method. And the next one is 2 wattmeter method. And the last one is 1 wattmeter method. In this method we use 3 wattmeters. In this method we use 2 wattmeters. In this method we use 1 wattmeter. Okay, coming to the first one, first we'll look into this method. First one is 3 wattmeter method. 3 wattmeter method. First let me draw the three-phase load. First let me draw three-phase load. Z1 is the impedance of this phase, Z2 is the impedance of this phase, and this is Z3. Okay, 3 wattmeter method means you're going to have 3 wattmeters, W1, W2 and W3, right? In each wattmeter you are going to have current coil and pressure coil. In this also you are going to have current coil and pressure coil. In this also you are going to have current coil and pressure coil. Okay. All are per phase loads Z1, Z2 and Z3. Okay, this is unbalanced load. Okay. In this method, 3 wattmeters are arranged in such a way that each has its current coil in one line. That is, current coil of wattmeter 1 is placed in this line. Okay, this is line R, this is line Y, this is line B. Okay, current coil of wattmeter 1 is placed in this line. Current coil of wattmeter 2 is placed in this line. Current coil of wattmeter 3 is placed in this line. Potential coil of wattmeter 1 is placed between this line and some common point. Okay, this is some common point, X. X is a common point. Potential coil of wattmeter 2 is connected between this line and between this line and to the common point. Similarly, respective potential coil is connected between respective line and common point, joined to common point. Okay, this is common point X. Okay, now this makes one wattmeter, that is W1. This makes another wattmeter, that is W2. This makes one more wattmeter, that is W3. Okay, now if you have this kind of arrangement, then total power will be total power measured by all 3 wattmeters. Total power consumed by the load. Total power consumed by the load. Total power consumed by 3-phase load is equal to algebraic sum of all readings given by all 3 wattmeters, that is W1 plus W2 plus W3. Okay. So total power consumed by this 3-phase load is equal to W1 plus W2 plus W3. What is W1? W1 is the reading given by wattmeter 1, W2 is the reading given by wattmeter 2, W3 is the reading given by wattmeter 3. Okay, so the algebraic sum of all wattmeter readings gives the total power consumed by this 3-phase load. Whether the load is balanced or unbalanced, the algebraic sum of all wattmeter readings, all 3 wattmeter readings, gives the total power consumed by the load, whether the load is balanced or unbalanced, whether the load is star connected load or delta connected load. This method can be used for the measurement of power in 3-phase circuit, 3-phase load, whether the load is balanced or unbalanced. If neutral wire is not available, then you can have the common point like this. If the neutral wire is available, then this common point will be the neutral point. Okay, if neutral wire is available like this, if neutral wire is available, then this neutral point will be the common point. Okay. Coming to the second method. Okay, here directly gives total. What is the total power in 3-phase load? Root 3 VL IL cos phi. Now coming to the second method, that is 2 wattmeter method. Okay, 2 wattmeter method. 2 wattmeter method means we use 2 wattmeters. Okay. First, let me draw 3-phase load. Z1, Z2 and Z3. Okay, you are going to have 2 wattmeters. This wattmeter is having, this is W1 and this is W2. W1 will be having current coil and pressure coil. This is also having current coil and pressure coil. Current coil is like ammeter, potential coil or voltage coil is like voltmeter. Okay, this is used for the measurement of current, this is used for the measurement of voltage. Okay, now current coils of 2 wattmeters are placed in any two lines. Current coils of 2 wattmeters placed in any two lines. Okay, so let me place current coil of wattmeter 1 in line R. Let me place current coil of wattmeter 2 in line B. Okay, so current coil of wattmeter 1 is placed in line R. This is line R, line Y, line B. Current coil of wattmeter 2 is connected in line B, placed in line B. Okay, now potential coil of wattmeter 1 is connected between this line. The respective potential coil is connected between the respective line and third line in which current coil is not placed. This is joined to third line. Okay, similarly current coil of wattmeter 2 is connected between this line and third line in which no current coil is placed or connected, right? Okay, now this makes one wattmeter W1, this gives one reading, and this arrangement gives another reading, that is W2. Okay, the current which is flowing to this line is IR. The current which is flowing to this line is IY. The current which is flowing to this is IB. Okay, this is neutral point N. Total power consumed by this three-phase load is the algebraic sum of the two wattmeter readings, that is W1 plus W2. Whether the load is balanced or unbalanced, the algebraic sum of the two readings gives the total power consumed by this three-phase load. Whether the load is balanced or unbalanced, star connected or delta connected, the algebraic sum of the two wattmeter readings gives the total power consumed by this three-phase load. The total power consumed by the load is equal to W1 plus W2, right? Okay. Now let us check whether the algebraic sum of two readings will be equal to root 3 VL IL cos phi or not. Okay, what will be the total power consumed by the load? The total power consumed by the load will be root 3 VL IL cos phi. Okay, here I am taking lagging loads. This is three-phase lagging load. Okay, if the algebraic sum of two readings is equal to root 3 VL cos phi, then this gives total power consumed by this load, right? Okay, so let VRN, VYN, VBN are RMS values of phase voltages. RMS values of phase voltages. IR, IY, IB are RMS values of phase currents. RMS values of phase currents. Now let me consider balance load. For the sake of convenience, I am considering it as balance load. Okay, if I consider that as balance load, IRN will be equal to IYN is equal to IBN. Okay, all voltage will be equal. Okay, now the angle between, the phase angle between VRN and IR is phi. Similarly, IY lags VYN by an angle phi. Similarly, IB lags VBN by an angle phi. Okay, that is, as it is balance load, Z1 is equal to Z2 is equal to Z3 is equal to Z at an angle phi. Okay. Now let us draw the phasor diagram. Okay. Anyhow, we know what is the current through the current coil of wattmeter 1, current coil of wattmeter 1. Okay, what is the current through the current coil of wattmeter 1? Anyhow, current coil of wattmeter reads IR, as IR is a current which is flowing through this. Okay, this current coil measures IR. This potential coil of wattmeter 1 measures the voltage between this and this, voltage between these 2 points. Okay, so coming to the current through the current coil of wattmeter 1 is IR. What is the voltage? Voltage across potential coil of wattmeter 1, which is equal to, what is the voltage measured by this potential coil of wattmeter 1? As it is connected between this line and this, then this potential coil measures the voltage between these 2 lines, that is VRY. Voltage measured by this potential coil will be VRY. Okay, now what is the reading of wattmeter? Wattmeter reading, otherwise I will write like this: reading of wattmeter 1, that is W1 is equal to voltage, that is VRY, voltage measured by potential coil of wattmeter 1, that is VRY, into current to the current coil of wattmeter 1, and cos of angle between VRY and IR, voltage cos of angle between voltage across current coil and current to the voltage across the potential coil and current to the current coil. Okay, now coming to the current through the current coil of wattmeter 2, which is equal to, anyhow, current coil of wattmeter 2 is placed in this line, so it measures the current which is flowing through this line. What is the current which is flowing through this line? That is IB. So the current which is flowing through the line B is IB. Now voltage across the potential coil of wattmeter 2, is equal to what is the voltage measured by the potential coil of wattmeter 2. See, as it is connected between this line and this line, okay, so this measures voltage at this point with respect to this point. What is the voltage at this point with respect to this point? That is VBY. VBY is the voltage between line B and Y. Okay. Now what is the reading of wattmeter 2? Reading of wattmeter 2, that is W2. W2 is equal to voltage measured by potential coil of wattmeter 2, that is VBY, and current through the current coil of wattmeter 2, that is IB, and cos of angle between VBY and IB. Okay, let me write over here, that is W2 is equal to VBY IB cos of angle between VBY and IB. In order to find the angle between VRY and IR and the angle between VBY and IB, we must draw phasor diagram. Okay, from the phasor diagram we'll get these two angles. Okay, so now let us draw the phasor diagram. Before going to draw phasor diagram, let us write this line voltage in terms of phase voltage. Okay, so VRY, let us take VRY, and let us take VBY. VRY, right? VRY, and next we take VBY. I will do one thing. Let us write over here VRY and VBY. Okay, now VRY, okay, VRY, VBY, right? Okay, VRY is the voltage between these 2 points. Voltage VRY means voltage at R with respect to Y. Okay, voltage at this point with respect to this point is VRY. Voltage at this point with respect to this point is VBY. Okay, so see here, VRY, this is R, right? VRY, that is voltage at this point with respect to this point, right? Okay, voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point plus voltage at this point with respect to this point. Okay, voltage at this point with respect to this point will be, that is from here to here, from R to N, that is voltage between R and N will be VRN. Okay, voltage from here to here is VRN. Voltage at this point with respect to this point is VRN. Voltage at this point with respect to this point, that is from here to here, the voltage will be VYN. See, it is the voltage at this point with respect to this point. Voltage at this point with respect to this point is VYN. Voltage at this point with respect to this point is VRN. Okay, so what is VRY? VRY is the voltage at this point with respect to this point, that is voltage at this point with respect to this point plus voltage at this point with respect to this point, that is VRY is equal to VRN, that is voltage at this point with respect to this point plus voltage at this point with respect to this point, right? So plus VNY, that is VRY. VBY is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point, that is voltage at this point with respect to this point, right? voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point plus voltage at this point with respect to this point, that is VBY is equal to VBN plus VNY. Okay, let me write over here. VRY is equal to VRN plus VNY. Okay, VBY is equal to VBN plus VNY. This is nothing but VRN minus VNY. Sorry. This is minus VYN. This is nothing but VBN minus VYN. Okay. Phasor sum of these two voltages is nothing but VRY. Phasor sum of these two voltages is nothing but VBY. Okay. Now let us draw the phasor diagram. We know VRN, VYN, VBN are phase voltage. All voltages are equal in magnitude but displaced by an angle 120 degrees from each other, right? Okay, first let me draw phasor VRN. This is VRN. Okay, now let me draw phasor VYN. Okay, how can I draw VYN? Okay, VYN lags VRN by an angle 120 degrees. The angle between these two will be 120 degrees. Again, the angle between these two will be 120 degrees. This lags this voltage by an angle 120 degrees. This lags this by an angle 120 degrees, right? Okay, so coming to phasor VYN. Now let me draw phasor VYN. This is phasor VYN. Now let me draw phasor VBN. Okay, VBN, right? This is VBN. Okay, what are the respective line currents, phase currents? Okay, here VRN, VYN, VBN are phase voltage. What are the respective phase currents? IR, IY and IB, right? Okay, anyhow, for lagging load, current lags voltage by an angle phi. Let phi is the angle between voltage and current, right? So this current lags voltage by an angle phi. Again, this current lags voltage by an angle phi. Again, this current lags voltage by an angle phi. Okay, this respective current lags respective voltage by an angle phi, right? Okay, so now let me draw IR, phasor IR. This is phasor IR. That is IR lags VRN by an angle phi. Similarly, let me draw IY. IY lags VYN by an angle phi. This is what? This is IY. Okay, next IB is IY, right? Okay, next IB lags VBN by an angle phi. This is IB, right? Okay, the angle between these two is phi. Again, the angle between these two is phi, as we considered balance load. Okay, now what is W1? VRY IR, cos of angle between VRY and IR. Okay, so W1 is, let me write over here, W1 is equal to VRY IR cos of angle between VRY and IR, right? What is W2? W2 is equal to VBY IB cos of angle between VBY and IB. Okay, now let us draw VRY. Then we can find the angle between these two. What is VRY? VRY is the phasor sum of these two, or phasor difference of these two, or you can say like this: VRY is the phasor sum of VRN minus V by N. So now let us draw minus V by N. Okay, in order to have phasor VRY. Okay, now let us draw VRY. Okay, so VRY, sorry, minus V by N. If this is V by N, then this will be minus V by N. Sorry. Okay, if this is V by N, then this will be minus V by N. This will be minus V y N. Okay, now what is VRY? VRY is the phasor sum of VRN and minus V by N. Okay, you have minus V by N. Phasor sum of VRN. You have VRN. Okay, phasor sum of these two, VRN and minus V by N, gives phasor sum of these two. Okay, VRN and VRN and minus V by N is what? VRN and minus V by N is what? This is VRY. Phasor sum of VRN and minus V by N is VRY. Now let us draw VBY. VBY is the phasor sum of VBN and minus V by N, right? Minus V by N, right? Okay, so now phasor sum of these two. Phasor sum of these two. These two is what? VBY. Okay, so now this will be what? This will be sorry. Okay. Phase sum of these two. Phase sum of these two is what? This is what? This is V by V by. Okay. Now this is equal to what? This is equal to what? What is W1? W1 is the VR by IR, cos of angle between these two, right? So this is VRY and IR, cos of angle between VRY and IR, right? Okay. Anyhow, the angle between these two will be 60 degrees. See, from here to here the angle will be, from here to here the angle will be 120 degrees. Okay, it is divided into two halves. Okay, the angle between these from here to here is 120 degrees. Again, this is divided into two halves. Okay, so the angle between these two will be 60 degrees. Again, this angle is divided into two halves. Then the angle between these two will be 30 degrees. Okay. Similarly, angle from here to here. Okay, from here to here is, angle from here to here is 60 degrees. Okay, again it is divided into two halves. Okay, so the angle between these two, angle from here to here is 30 degrees, or the angle between these two will be 30 degrees, or the angle between these two is 30 degrees, right? Will be 30 degrees, right? So what is the angle between VRY and IR? Where is VRY? Okay, this is VRY. Where is IR? IR. This is IR, right? Okay, so the angle between these two, VRY and IR, is 30 degrees plus 5. Okay, angle between these two is 5. Angle between these two is 30. 30 plus 5 is the angle between VRY and IR. So 30 cos of 30 plus 5 is W1. Now what is the angle between these two? This is VBY and IB, cos of angle between VBY and IB. VBY, sorry, I'm sorry, this is VBY. VBY, okay, VBY, right? Okay, VBY. IB, cos of angle between VBY and IB. Where is IB? Okay, here we have IB, right? Okay, so what is the angle between VBY and IB? What is this angle? Okay, this angle is equal to, from here to here angle is 30 degrees. Angle from here to here is, angle between these two phasors is 5. Angle between these two phasors is 30. So angle between these two phasors will be 30 minus 5. Okay, 30 minus 5, 30 degrees minus 5. Okay, so now finally we have W1 is equal to VRY IR cos of 30 plus 5, and W2 is equal to VBY IB cos of 30 minus 5. Okay, simply you write like this. Anyhow, for balance load, all line voltage will be equal, all phase currents will be equal, all line currents will be equal. So you do one thing, you just write VL IL cos of 30 plus 5, VL IL cos of 30 minus 5. Okay, now let me check this algebraic sum of these two will be equal to the power consumed by the three phase load or not. Okay, so now W1 plus W2 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 plus 5 plus VL IL cos of 30 minus 5. Okay, this will be equal to VLIL into cos of 30 plus 5 plus cos of 30 minus 5. So which is equal to VLIL cos of A plus B cos of plus cos of A minus B, then 2 cos A cos B. Okay, then which is equal to VLIL 2 into root 3 by 2 cos 5. Then you are going to get, finally you are going to get root 3 VLIL cos 5, root 3 VLIL cos 5. Okay, that is, we can conclude that the algebraic sum of two wattmeter readings gives the total power consumed by the load, whether the load is balanced or unbalanced, whether the load is star connected load or delta connected load. The algebraic sum of two wattmeter readings gives the total power consumed by the load as the algebraic sum of two wattmeter readings will be equal to root 3 VLIL cos 5. Okay, now power factor. From 2 wattmeter method. Okay, we know W2 plus W1 is equal to root 3 VL IL cos 5. What about W2 minus W1? W2 minus W1 will be equal to, what is W2? W2 is VL IL cos of 30 minus 5 minus VL IL cos of 30 plus 5, okay, which is equal to VLIL cos of 30 minus 5 minus cos of 30 plus 5. Then you are going to get VLIL sin 5. Okay, if you simplify this, then you are going to get sin 5. Okay, that is W2 minus W1 is VLIL sin 5. Now what is the ratio of these two? The ratio of these two will be W2 minus W1 by W2 plus W1 will be equal to VLIL sin 5 by root 3 VLIL cos 5, that which is equal to tan phi by root 3. Okay, from this tan phi is equal to root 3 into W2 minus W1 by W2 plus W1. Okay, from this we can find phase angle. Okay, if we find phase angle, then we can get power factor which is equal to cos phi. Okay, so power factor can be measured with the help of 2 wattmeter method. Okay, this is for lagging load. For leading load, tan phi is equal to root 3 into W1 minus W2 by W1 plus W2. This is for leading load. Okay, in this for leading load, W1 will be higher than W2. W2 is higher than W1 for lagging load. So to avoid confusion, tan phi will be, you take like this, tan phi is equal to root 3 into higher reading minus lower reading by higher reading plus lower reading. Okay. Now reactive power with 2 wattmeter method. We know, right? We have W2 minus W1 is equal to, for lagging load, W2 minus W1 is equal to VL IL sin phi. Okay, what is the reactive power consumed by the 3-phase load? Reactive power consumed by the 3-phase load will be root 3 VL sin phi. So reactive power consumed by 3-phase load, which is equal to, root 3 VL IL sin phi is the reactive power consumed by the 3-phase load, whereas active power consumed by the 3-phase load will be, or true power consumed by the 3-phase load will be root 3 VL IL cos phi. Okay, which is equal to root 3, in place of VL IL sin phi, let write W2 minus W1. Then simply reactive power, that is Q in 3-phase load is equal to root 3 into W2 minus W1 VAR. Okay, volt ampere reactive. Okay, reactive power consumed by 3-phase load is equal to root 3 times of W2 minus W1, or algebraic difference between two readings. Now let us look into effect of load power factor on wattmeter readings. Wattmeter readings. Effect of load power factor on wattmeter readings. Okay. Let us see how load power factor will affect on readings of wattmeters. Okay. We know W1 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 plus phi, 30 degrees plus phi, and W2 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 minus phi, right? Okay, now case 1. If power factor cos phi is equal to 1, means phi is equal to 0 degrees. Okay, phi is equal to 0 degrees. Then what will be the reading of wattmeter 1 and what will be the reading of wattmeter 2? Okay, then W1 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 plus 0 is equal to VLIL cos 30. W2 VLIL cos of 30 minus 5 is equal to VLIL cos 30. That's it, right? Okay. Here W1 will be equal to W2. For unity power factor, W1 will be equal to, both will be equal, and positive readings. You're going to have positive readings. Okay. Total power consumed by the load, total power will be equal to W1 plus W2, equal to twice of W1 or twice of W2. Okay. Next, if power factor cos phi is equal to 0.5, that is phi is equal to 60 degrees. Okay. Then what will be the reading of W1? W1 is equal to, VL IL cos of 30 plus 60. W2 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 minus 60, which is equal to cos 90 is 0. So this will be 0. This will be VL IL cos 30. Okay, that is W1 is 0 and W2 will be equal to VL IL cos 30 degrees, cos 30, right? That is, total power will be, total power in the three-phase load will be equal to W2. W2 alone gives the total power consumed by three-phase load if power factor is equal to 0.5 or phase angle between voltage and current will be 60 degrees. Then W2 alone measures the total power consumed by the load. If cos phi, if power factor is less than 0.5 but greater than 0, means cos phi is less than 0.5 and greater than 0, or phase angle less than 90 degrees and greater than 60 degrees, right? Okay, now what will be W1? W1 is equal to, VL IL cos of 30 plus 5. W2 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 minus 5. Okay. Now 30 plus 60, if it is 60 then equal to 0. Okay. More than, this angle is more than 90, that is more than 60. If phi is more than 60 and less than 90, and you are going to get negative reading, so you are going to get negative reading. Okay. If it is 60, you will get 30 degrees, cos 30. If it is less than 90 also, if you take 89. If it is 89, 30 minus 89 will be minus 59. Anyhow, cos 59. Okay, it will be positive value only. Okay, then you are going to get positive reading. Okay, then total power consumed by the load will be, total power consumed by the load will be W2 minus W1, because you will get negative reading over here. Okay, now here as you are getting negative reading, it is difficult to get reading from wattmeter, because you are going to have the scale like this. This wattmeter gives only positive reading. Okay, this is the pointer, right? Okay, this gives only upscale reading or positive reading. Okay, here wattmeter 2 gives upscale reading. Simply you can get reading from wattmeter if it is positive reading. If it is negative reading, okay, anyhow you are going to have stoppers over here. Okay, anyhow this is 0. We take somewhat 300 watts. Okay, you have stopper here, stopper at both ends of this scale. You are going to have stopper again. Here also you have stopper. Okay, now negative reading means downscale reading. Downscale reading means pointer moves in backward direction. Okay, in this direction. Upscale reading means pointer moves in this direction. If it is moving in this direction, that is well and good. You can get the reading from the wattmeter, that is fine. Okay, if it is giving negative reading means nothing but downscale reading means this is moving in backward direction. This pointer will be moving in backward direction. If it is moving in backward direction, you don't have a scale for measuring negative values. Okay, when this is moving in backward direction, directly this stopper will stop the motion of this pointer. This stopper will not allow this pointer move in backward direction. Okay, will not get any further movement beyond this stopper. This stopper will stop this motion of this point. Then you will not get any reading, okay, from this wattmeter. Okay, so you do one thing. First you get positive reading, then first we will do one thing. Okay, first let us get positive reading. Okay, suppose you do one thing. First, suppose W2 is minus 30 watts. Okay, this is the power measured by wattmeter 1. Okay, so you do one thing. Anyhow, this cannot be given by this reading cannot be obtained from this wattmeter. So you do one thing. First, let me allow wattmeter to read 30 watts. Okay, then after you take minus 30. So how can I allow this wattmeter to give positive value? Okay, in order to obtain upscale reading or positive reading, either you reverse the current coil or pressure coil at the wattmeter. Either you reverse the current coil of wattmeter or pressure coil of the wattmeter, then upscale reading will be obtained. Okay, upscale reading can be obtained by reversing current coil or pressure coil of wattmeter. Either you reverse current coil of wattmeter or pressure coil of wattmeter to obtain positive reading or upscale reading. Okay, so let me reverse current coil of wattmeter 1. If you reverse the current coil of wattmeter 1, then pointer moves in forward direction, then it gives 30 watts. Now you take negative value. After reversal of current coil of pressure coil, you take negative reading. Okay, you take, anyhow you will get positive reading. Now you take negative reading. Okay, minus 30. Okay, so the total power consumed by the load will be, anyhow, however, the total power consumed by the load will be W2 minus W1. Okay, it is difficult to obtain negative reading on wattmeter. So you do one thing. First, you get positive reading from the wattmeter by reversing current coil or pressure coil. Okay, then you take negative value. Okay, if you get 30 watts, means the actual reading will be minus 30. Okay. Now coming to the next case, that is if cos phi is equal to 0, that is phase angle phi is equal to 90 degrees, then W1 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 plus phi. W2 is equal to VL IL cos of 30 minus phi, which is equal to VL IL cos of 30 plus 90 means, okay, you do anything, cos of 30 plus 90, VL IL cos of 30 minus 90. So this will be minus VL IL sin 30. This will be VL IL sin 30. Okay, that is again similar to this case. Again W1 is negative reading and the W2 is positive reading. Okay, the total power consumed by the load will be total power consumed by the load will be W1, sorry, here, yeah, fine. I checked whether I wrote correct or not. Okay, so this will be W2, anyhow W2 is positive, W2 minus W1. Now both are equal and positive, sorry, both are equal and opposite, okay, so the total power will be 0, total power consumed by the load will be 0. See, when phase angle will be equal to 90 degrees, if you use pure inductor or capacitor as load, then phase angle will be 90 degrees. Anyhow, you know, pure inductor doesn't consume any power, pure inductor doesn't consume any active power, pure capacitor doesn't consume any active power. So power consumed by the inductor will be 0 as well as the power consumed by the capacitor will be 0. Okay, both are equal and opposite, so the total power consumed by the three phase load will be 0. Okay, now we'll go for one wattmeter method. Here we have two kinds of arrangements. First, let us go for first arrangement. Okay, this is three phase balance load. See, sorry, three phase balanced load. Okay, you're going to have three lines, right? you're going to have one wattmeter, only one wattmeter, that is one current coil and one pressure coil. You place current coil of wattmeter in any one of these three lines. Now let me place this current coil of wattmeter in line R, Y, B. Okay. Pressure coil of this wattmeter is alternatively connected between this line and other two lines. So okay, one, two. Okay. So you do one thing. First, you connect pressure coil of wattmeter between these two lines, between R and B. Then you will get one reading, that is W1. Next, you connect this pressure coil between this line and line Y. Then you will get another reading, that is W2. Then the algebraic sum of these two readings will give total power consumed by this three-phase load. That is, total power will be is equal to algebraic sum of these two readings, that is W1 plus W2. Okay. But this method doesn't work for unbalanced load. For sure, this should be balanced load. Okay, this cannot be applied for unbalanced load. Okay, this method can only apply to balanced load, three-phase balanced load. Okay, now we'll go for another kind of arrangement. As the load should be balanced, so all impedance must be equal, Z. Okay, sorry. Okay, three lines, R, Y, B. Anyhow, it is balanced load. You place current coil of wattmeter in any one of these three lines. So let me place current coil in this line. Okay. Now pressure coil, you connect pressure coil between this line and neutral point. This is neutral point. Then you will get one reading, that is you take W. Okay, then total power. This is what? This is per phase power. Okay, that is VI cos phi. What is the total power measured consumed by the load, three-phase load? This is 3 V phase I phase cos phi, right? Okay, so 3 V phase I phase cos phi. Okay, then which is equal to 3 W, that is 3 times of wattmeter reading. 3 times of wattmeter reading gives total power consumed by three-phase balance load. Okay. Now I will go for reactive power measurement using 1 wattmeter method. That is reactive power with 1 wattmeter method. 1 wattmeter method. Okay. Balance load. Sorry. Okay. 1 wattmeter method means you're going to have 1 wattmeter, 1 current coil and 1 pressure coil. 1 wattmeter, right? Okay. In this method, the current coil is placed in any one of these 3 lines. Current coil is, in order to measure reactive power with 1 wattmeter method, you place current coil of wattmeter in any one of these 3 lines. Okay, and connect pressure coil between other 2 lines. Between other two lines. Okay. Anyhow, balance load Z. Okay, balance load, right? Okay. So let IR is the current flowing through this. Anyhow, this is line R, Y, T. So what is the reading of wattmeter? Okay, reading of wattmeter is equal to, as potential coil is or pressure coil is or voltage coil is connected between Y and B, it measures V by B, and current, as current coil is connected in line R, it measures IR, and the cause of angle between V by B and IR. Okay, so we must find the angle between these two using phasor diagram. Okay, so let us draw the phasor diagram. Draw here, guys. Okay, now here see V by B, right? What is V by B? Voltage at this point with respect to this point. Voltage at this point means voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point, neutral point, with respect to this point, plus voltage at this point with respect to this point. Voltage at this point with respect to this point is nothing but voltage across this pressure coil, right? So voltage at this point with respect to this point is equal to voltage at this point with respect to this point plus voltage at this point with respect to this point. Then V by B is equal to V by N plus V by N plus V N P, which is nothing but V by N minus V B N. Okay, because V N B is equal to minus of V B N. So V by B is equal to V by N minus V B N. Okay, phasor difference of these two, or phasor sum of V by N minus V B N. Okay, now let us draw a phasor diagram. This is VRN. You know, VRN, VYN, VBN all are equal in magnitude but displaced by an angle 120 degrees from each other. So VYN lags VRN by an angle 120 degrees. The angle between these two will be 120 degrees. This lags this by an angle 120 degrees, right? So now this is what? This is VBN. Now let us draw is VYN. Now let us draw VBN. VBN lags VYN by an angle 120 degrees, right? So this will be VBN. Okay. Respective currents will be IR, IY, IB. Okay, so this will be IR. IR lags VRN by an angle phi. IY lags VYN by an angle phi. IB lags VBN by an angle phi. Okay. Now let us draw phasor V by B. Okay, V by B is nothing but VYN minus VBN. Let us draw phasor minus VBN. Okay, if this is VBN means this will be minus VBN. This will be minus, exactly opposite to this phasor, will be minus VBN, okay. Now fair sum of VYN and minus VBN gives what? V by B. Okay, so fair sum of these two, gives, I'll do one thing, fair sum of these two, this is equal to VYB IR cos of angle between VYB and IR, right? Yeah. Let me write clearly. VYB IR cos of angle between VYB and IR. Okay. Okay, now fair sum of these two will be, okay, fair sum of these two, will be these two pairs will be Actually you're going to get like this. Okay, sorry. Phasor sum of these two will be VYB, VYB, VYB. Okay, actually after drawing phasor diagram, the angle between these two will be 90 degrees. Okay, the angle between these two will be 90 degrees. Okay, then which is equal to, okay, this reading V by B. V by B is nothing but VL. You take VL. Okay, IL, you take IL. IR nothing but IL. Cos of angle between V by B and IR. Where is IR? This is IR. Where is V by B? This is right. What is the angle between these two? The angle between these two. The angle between these two is what? The angle between these two is 90 minus 5. Because the angle between these two is 5, the angle between these two will be 90 degrees. Then the angle between these two will be 90 minus 5. So 90 minus 5. Okay, so the wattmeter reading is is VL IL cos of 90 minus 5. Okay, which is nothing but VL IL sin 5. This is what? This is wattmeter reading. Okay, total power consumed by three-phase this is total reactive power. Reactive power consumed by three-phase balanced load is equal to root 3 VL IL sin phi. Okay, which is equal to root 3 into wattmeter reading. Wattmeter gives only VL IL sin phi. Okay, then the total reactive power, okay, QT, simply write QT, total reactive power consumed by three-phase load, okay, is equal to root 3 times wattmeter reading, root 3 times that of wattmeter reading. Okay, root 3 times of wattmeter reading gives total reactive power consumed by three-phase load. Okay, total reactive power in three-phase balanced load will be root 3 into wattmeter reading. Okay. Thank you.